Hi everyone. So I wanted to do a blog about SVT, and SVT is Supraventricular Tachycardia, and I have had two um, in the past 9 months, um, and I just wanted to go over it and kind of review and talk about treatments and stuff. So for those of you who have been watching my blogs, kind of know what happened to me the first time. So on July 8th of last year, I was doing some cardio workout, and I noticed that after the workout, after the cool down, I wasn't cooling down. And in fact, my heart rate was going up. And it wasn't like a slow progression, it was just bam. And that time I went into the emergency room after an hour of the SVT attack, and they gave me the adenosine or whatever it's called, and it basically stops or resets your heart. And so this past Tuesday, April 3rd, for the past month or so, I've been working out and just slowly starting to get back in shape and stuff. And so this on the 3rd, I had worked out earlier that day, and Chris and I were at the grocery store buying the things we were going to use to make dinner. And we were standing there in the self-checkout line, and I just felt like my heart, flipped. It was just completely weird. And then after the flipping feeling, it was just my heart was racing. And immediately I was like, all right, I'm having it again, Chris. I was just completely freaking out. Up until, yesterday I didn't really know too much on the condition. But again, we basically dropped everything we were doing and rushed to the emergency room. And the emergency room was absolutely packed. I mean, there was people just standing there waiting. And I told the security guard, like, I need to be seen right away. And he just pointed me to the triage area. And the nurse in there, she was sitting in her chair, and she turned around. I'm like, I'm having a tachycardia attack. And she was like, okay, sit down, calm down. And at this time, I was breathing really hard and fast. And she was just like, slow your breathing, relax, da da da. And this time, my heart rate was 225, 226 or so. So she's like, okay, we'll try and bear down. And I tried to bear down, and my heart rate, dropped a tiny bit, like maybe to like 215. And she's like, okay, try coughing. So I tried coughing, and same thing, about 215. And so they had to get a room ready for me. And this time it wasn't as urgent as the last time, because I told them, I've had this before. They just gave me the shot to reset everything. And she's like, okay. So the nurse came and took me back in a wheelchair, got me all set up, did the EKG and everything. And the doctor came in soon after and was just like, you've had this before. Have they ever talked to you about doing like an ablation or anything like that? And I was clueless. I was like, is that where they go through your artery? And he's like, yes, that's exactly what it is. I was like, oh, well, he kind of talked to me about it, but not really. And so they put an IV in me, and, almost immediately gave me, last time when I had to have the adenosine or adrenaline or whatever it's called, I had to have three shots. One shot of 6 and then 2 shots of 6 together. So I told the doctor, it took 12 last time, let's just do 12. get it right out. And he's like, okay. So he shot me up with 12, and that medicine just is horrible. I mean, last time I felt it mostly in my groin area and kind of in my chest. Well, this time I felt it like completely right here, and it's basically your heart stopping. The medicine stops your heart and resets it. So of course it doesn't feel good. You know, you feel like you're dying, basically. And last time I actually flatlined for those seconds that the medicine was there. Because with this medicine, your red blood cells, it eats it up basically and just gets rid of the medicine out of your system. And so that's why it's so quick acting. And so this time I didn't really flatline. It was just kind of like a break, but with some squiggly lines. And you know, after this time, I was just like, God, what is wrong with me? And the emergency room doctor, he basically said, you know, you probably have it's a little hard to explain, I guess, but there's 3 things that you could have wrong with your heart that's causing SVTs. One thing is that in your upper quadrant of your heart, where the whole electrical system is you have an extra bypass. So what happens is you're supposed to only have one, but sometimes you have 2. And then what could happen is as the blood is going this way and sending the signal to go this way, this one could also get the signal and go the other way. And so you have 2 things that just get basically tied up, and it causes your heart to go kind of woo crazy. And then there's another type of I guess condition that can cause SVTs. One is a part of your heart could be damaged or like scar tissue, and so this little tiny part of your heart is sending signals opposite of what your electrical system is sending signals, and so it's causing just complete chaos, or um, or it could just be an extra electrical circuit in the sinus node of your heart that causes the top of your heart and the bottom of your heart to beat at the same time. Because the way the heart works is it goes from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Well, during an SVT attack, you get top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. So that's why your heart is beating so fast, is because it's beating at twice, 3 times, even 4 times, you know, the normal amount. My highest heart rate with my SVT was 236. And that was the first time I had it. And before last night, because I did a ton of research last night. I was checking, you know, YouTube to see people who have experienced it and stuff. I just had no idea. I thought, you know, it was the end of my life. I thought, you know, I was done. Like, I need to make a will. I need to get life insurance. You know, I thought I was done. And even with the doctor's reassurance, like, you know, this is so common, especially at my age. You know, I'm 25. They were just like, it's so common. It's something you were born with, or something that you got over time with some damage and stuff. And so I saw one of my cardiologists last night, or yesterday. I go to a cardiologist clinic, and so there's multiple cardiologists that are there. They rotate every day, basically. And so the cardiologist I saw yesterday, he was just like, you know, I'm not an electrophysiologist, but I highly recommend that you do the catheter ablation. So I was like, a catheter ablation, that sounds scary. And so I came home and I did some research, and basically what they do is that they go through your artery. They put catheters, really small catheters, about the size of like the catheter that's put in when you get an epidural. So they put different catheters in your artery, either in your leg, your wrist, or your neck. And so they thread those into your artery, up into your heart, and they go in all different quadrants of your heart. And they send electrical signals to see if they can trigger a tachycardia, an SVT attack. And once they are able to trigger it, they find the area of your heart that is causing the tachycardia and the arrhythmias. And they basically, destroy it. They either destroy that part of the heart, or they cut it off from the rest of the heart. And it's about 95% success rate, 1% complication rate, and 4% have to do it again. And that's if they were able to get all of it the first time, or it just wasn't successful the first time. And worst case scenario is a pacemaker. Basically, that's if the area of my heart that is causing the tachycardia is too close to the electrical, the main frame, the sinus node, basically. And so I did some research, and I saw some videos on YouTube of people who have had it done, young people, and it's been just complete positive reviews. Excuse me. And so I'm definitely planning on having it done. Luckily, I'm in the area where Stanford University and their hospital isn't too far away to travel. And so I'm going to talk to my regular cardiologist about maybe going to Stanford to have it done. If not, there's a great electrophysiologist that's here in town, but he is extremely popular. I believe he's the only one in town. And I'd be more than happy to have him work on me. He has, absolutely great reviews, and that's a big thing, is to make sure that you're comfortable with your surgeon. Because I've never had surgery before, and surgery, it's not like they put you under sedation, not a general anesthetic, but for some cases they do have to do a general anesthetic, and they put in the breathing tube and stuff like that. So, as of right now, I am on 25 milligrams of metoprolol twice a day. And that is to regulate the heart and keep the heart rate down, because it seems like my attacks are triggered by exercise, unfortunately. Because we just spent $150 for a gym membership, and yeah, this happened. So I told Chris, you better get your butt to the gym and make that money worth it, or I'm gonna be really mad. And some see the catheter ablation as kind of an elective surgery, but it's not. I mean, with the SVTs, they can be dangerous. Like my cardiologist said, he said that they're dangerous if you get lightheaded or if you get dizzy. Like, what if it happens when you're driving? And that's a huge fear, because I'm usually with my daughter. And so she'd be in the car, and so I'd be putting her life, my life, and other people's lives at risk. And what if I'm alone with my daughter and I have to go to the emergency room? Like, what am I going to do? Does she come with me? Um, And so it's just things like that. And I think, especially, if I want to go somewhere, I don't want to have to worry about, where the nearest hospital is, just in case something happens, Like if Chris and I are driving to, I don't know, New Mexico again, what if it happens in the middle of nowhere? What am I going to do? So, it's definitely something that could be life-changing, in a good way for me, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely scared as hell, but of course anyone would be if you're having a surgery. Luckily, it can be considered outpatient surgery. I've heard of a lot of people leaving that same day, or some people that just have to be watched overnight or a couple nights and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it, and of course I'll be doing more updates as I know more. And I'm really sorry for the way I look right now. Saturday morning, and Emma and I are just hanging out, being lazy. But I really hope that this was kind of informative for people who might be dealing with this as well. If you are one of them, I'd love to talk to you and share stories, facts, whatever, and just kind of be able to comfort each other, I guess, because it is a really scary thing. The one thing that the cardiologist did tell me was, one, they don't really know why it happens. Sometimes you're just born with the extra bypass, or sometimes something damages your heart, and there's a very good chance that my preeclampsia caused some scar tissue in my heart. So we just don't know until they get in there through the catheters. So yeah, like I said, I hope this was informative, and please, message me or comment down below and let me know if anyone has been through this. I'd love to talk to you, and I will keep you guys updated, and I hope everyone is doing well. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.